Hi, this is hopefully just a quick video to give you an overview and an introduction into what I call the myPJV Bible reading app. It's an app I've written that will allow you to read Pastor John's translation of the Bible on your computer, on a laptop, on a tablet, on an Android phone, or on an iPhone. myPJV is what they call a progressive web app. Don't need to worry too much about what that means, but it will allow you to read our Bible translation using an installable app on your cell phone, computer, or other device. Once it's installed, you'll be able to read our translation without needing an internet or network connection. Even though it's called an app, the progressive web app means that it does not use the Apple Store or the Google Play Store, and it also means it's a lot easier for me to write it. It's not a regular phone app. A progressive web app is just an ordinary web page that's specially written to allow local installation of the app on your device. Updates will occur automatically in the background. How that happens I'll cover in future videos. This video is just a very quick overview of the features of the myPJV app. As I said, I will be making more videos to guide you through the installation of the app and its study and search capabilities. What I'm going to demonstrate here, I've already installed the app on my Windows computer and also on an Android phone and on an Apple iPhone, which I'll be using screencasting and screen capture to show you. Okay, so here it is on the desktop Windows computer. To get to the app, you just navigate to mypjv.com. And you go through an installation process that, depending on your internet speed, will take a minute or two. But once it's installed, you'll come up with Genesis 1:1. The app was designed initially to allow people to read Pastor John's translation of the Bible. And it's very, very simple to do that. You can scroll using the mouse wheel, using the thumb scroller, so just normal web page navigation or scrolling. And that is not supposed to be. There you go. This isn't great. You make a video and there's a bug. That's not a big bug, but it's not supposed to appear. The up arrow here will take you back to the top of the page. You pick the book you want to read here. Let's pick Matthew, and you can pick a chapter here, and then you just read it. To go to the next chapter, you can either use a drop list or the right arrow will take you to the next chapter. Left arrow will take you back through chapters. The app does have the ability to do text-to-speech conversion. It's not great. There are a lot of bugs in it. It's just using built-in capability in the browsers, and I don't have a lot of control over it. But I will attempt to demonstrate it. I've got to turn desktop audio on, and hopefully you will hear it read this.
Matthew 6. Beware not to do your alms before men, to be seen by them, otherwise you have no reward from your Father who is in heaven. So, whenever you give alms, don't sound a trumpet before you the way the hypocrites do in the synagogues and streets, so that they might be honored by men. Truly, I tell you, they have their reward. But
okay, so hopefully that worked. It has problems and the voices aren't great, but it's there, and it will, when it reaches the end of a chapter, if everything's working properly, and that will depend on your device, it will move to the next chapter ordinarily. Not going to spend a lot of time on how to use it, but there is a bookmark feature. You can bookmark verses. Here's Genesis 10:2, and it jumps there very quickly. You'll see the verse number is in red, which indicates that it is has been bookmarked, and it highlights the verse for you. So that's basically the reading. I'll demonstrate in a future video how to make bookmarks and delete them and so on. The search, one more thing. The font size can be changed by clicking this gear wheel. Brings up the few settings that there are, and the text size can be altered just by clicking on this or tapping on this line. The text changes size to show you what you'll get. And I'll pick 18. That's good enough on this screen. Okay, so you can change the font size to suit yourself. Now, on a touch device, which I'll demonstrate in a second, you can hide these buttons by this option here, use button navigation. Tap that to turn it off and you'll see the buttons have disappeared. Now on this computer I need them because it's not a touch device, so I'll turn it back on. But I will now demonstrate. Let me just get these up. Okay, on the left you see the app running on a Google Android phone, and you'll see that there are no buttons at the bottom. So on a touch device you can swipe from the right to move forward a chapter, or from the left to move back. On the right, on the iPhone, you can still swipe, and notice what happened when at the end of the Bible, Revelation 22, it wraps around to Genesis 1. So you can have the buttons visible and still swipe if you wish. The difference is when you haven't got those buttons showing, when you scroll down a short distance, you'll see this Go Top button appears, and that will take you back to the beginning of the chapter. Now, the big advantage of these progressive web apps, I'll show you here. Okay, here's the home screen of my phone, and you'll see here the myPJV Bible app. It's got a little Brave browser icon of the top. It's telling you it's a progressive app. It's connected to the browser, but it runs independently. On the iPhone, there it is. Just the normal icon there, so you can run it independently of the browser. Tap it and up it comes. Okay, so it behaves very much like a normal app. Now I'll just switch back to the desktop because it's just a little larger. There are some fairly reasonably sophisticated search capabilities. There's an advanced search, there is a basic search as well, but I'll just show you briefly the advanced search. I've got a few searches put in here. You can search for, I've got God created, and this button all is selected, so it looks for the verses when I click search that contain the words God and created. Wildcard searches are possible. I won't explain what's going on here with the semicolon and the asterisks, but there are various options which I'll go over in future videos. You can do fairly complicated searches if you want. Not many people may want to use that, but it does have the ability. Now, one particular ability is to search the King James. I'm going to use an actual example. Kay wanted to know where the verse in Ecclesiastes was that contains the words time and chance. So what you can do, the problem is our translation does not use the words time and chance, but you may know the King James better than you know our translation. So at the option at the top here, you can actually choose to search King James. And what happens when you do that, it finds it in the King James. It's Ecclesiastes 9:11, time and chance, but it also returns, if it's been translated, our translation. And our translation is, but time and circumstance meet them all. Now from the search results, if you click on the verse reference, it will take you to the context, take you to the book. The verse from the search results is highlighted yellow for your convenience, and when you click on the search icon here, you come back to your search results where you were. Now if I choose something that maybe has more options, well, there's only 20. Depending on options is set, if there's more than 50, then the left and right buttons here will move you through the search results page at a time, but that will be covered in a future video. Okay, so that's just an overview of the search capabilities. Oh, one more. This last option here, verse list, I've got one in here, and these are all the verse references from Pastor John's notes for meeting number 51. and I'll show how you can either type these directly in, or there's a way to build these lists from the app. I'll demonstrate that in the future, and if you search for those, you've now got all the verses that were in Pastor John's notes. That might be useful in the future if you're going through. Again, you can, I just scroll down, there's 37 results, that will be all on here. So you can go and you can read 1 Corinthians 10, and then when you click on this, it will come back and go to where you were, and you'll notice the verse you just clicked on is in light grey, just to show you where you were. That only happens for the last verse you clicked on. Let's try John 16:21. There it is. Come back, and there's John. Oh, it's missing by one. Keep finding bugs. Well, it's close. Good enough for government work at the moment, but I will fix that too. That was working properly. That's the joys of programming. Okay, so that's an overview of the app. One nice feature, if I close that and then run the browser again, you notice it remembers where it was. So if I scroll down, that's not supposed to be. Got two bugs to fix. Okay, let's. So verse 14's at the top. Hopefully, it should wake up pretty close to that. So it remembers where you are and scrolls back to it. Okay, so that you can go to myPJV.com and start playing with it. As I said, I've got a couple of tiny little things to fix up there, but they will not affect the use of the app whatsoever. Okay, so as I said, there will be future videos demonstrating the options and the capabilities in more detail.